I am what I am. And until those people touch me close enough, they'll never know what I am.
Bodybuilding is rich in history and still popular today. The biggest difference between then and now is the level of competitiveness. Trying to gain any advantage is necessary in order to compete in the current bodybuilding environment, leading many to explore alternative approaches such as hormone supplements, steroids, or excessive diuretics. Sometimes this exploration leads to major issues, including fatal scenarios. In today's video, we bring you bodybuilders that went too far trying to create, in their minds, the perfect body. Number 9. Sally McNeil. What happens when two Marines fall in love, get into bodybuilding together, and take steroids? Obviously, one of them is going to take the life of the other. It's really the only way this goes down. In the case of Sally McNeil, she not only took the life of her husband, she had a long history of violence, presumably linked to her post-Marine bodybuilding career and use of steroids. For McNeil, it was the fueled jealousy that got the best of her. First, she ferociously beat down a woman because she believed she had physical relations with her husband. The problem with being married to a bodybuilder is their strength, right? McNeil dropped a 70-pound weight on her husband. This is not something most husbands need to worry about. Finally, in 1996, she unloaded a shotgun into the chest of her husband. McNeil is still in prison and still believes it was her husband who was at fault and the one with rage caused by steroids.
So you have the stress from dieting, and plus if you're a bodybuilder, from knowing that you have to look a certain way when you get on that stage. You know, and she's told me different stories of getting into verbal confrontations with women. It appeared to me that they were close. He was still coming at me, so I shot him again.
Number 8. Gary Hyming. Bodybuilders push their bodies to the limit, in many cases further than the body is designed to be pushed. Even when drugs or steroids aren't involved, a bodybuilder's training puts stress on the heart and other organs. Their diet is also extreme, often high on protein and low in other nutrients the body may be craving. Gary Hyming had the worst fate a bodybuilder can have. He passed away on stage. While competing in an event in Victoria, he collapsed right on stage after his set. What was just as shocking was that after his body was removed, the show went on. In hindsight, we're pretty sure that wasn't the best decision. Number 7. Greg PLITT. So this one has nothing to do with drugs, well, not noted anyhow, and nothing to do with stress on the heart. Well, not directly anyway. Greg PLITT, a West Point graduate and ranger, started his career in LA as a personal trainer. He even created a workout program named MFT28 that would be featured on the website bodybuilding.com. PLITT made the covers of fitness magazines such as Men's Health, Muscle and Fitness, and American Health and Fitness. He even did some commercials for Old Spice Body Wash, Old Navy, and Under Armour, leading to a spot on the reality television show Workout. In 2015, PLITT decided to go for a run, but being a big-time bodybuilding trainer, he couldn't just go for any run, it had to be extreme. PLITT decided to run on train tracks and outrun a train. Apparently he was trying to prove that an energy drink really works, but there were no cameras, so we really don't understand what the hell he was doing. Oh, yeah, the train hit him. Number 6. MOHAMMED MOMO BENAZIZA. A soccer player when he was young, MOHAMMED BENAZIZA started to work out and train his body, eventually entering and winning a bodybuilding event in Spain. He continued to enter events and even won the Night of Champions in 1990. Given his dominance, he was given the name Killer of Giants. In 1992, BENAZIZA was part of the Mr. Olympia Championships, where he finished in 5th place. It was shortly after this competition he was found lifeless in his hotel room. The autopsy was telling, showing signs of major dehydration, and it was heart failure that took his life at the young age of 33. A potent cocktail that included diuretics was found. Prior to the show earlier in the year, BENAZIZA made a statement that American bodybuilders were sissies. He referred to them by this name because of their refusal to use drugs. Well, no one can call BENAZIZA a sissy now, can they? Number 5. Aziz Shavershian. This one is mysterious because we don't know what really went wrong. We know something went awry because young people don't drop lifeless, as was the case with Shavershian. But those answers have been kept secret. Originally from Moscow, Shavershian and his family moved to Australia, where he took up bodybuilding. However, he didn't just bulk up. Instead, he focused on creating a muscular, attractive body. It worked as he started receiving national attention as a YouTube star, with a large group beginning to follow. It was right around this time that he passed away of a heart attack. There was a ton of speculation around his passing, and many started to suspect drugs despite Shavershian never admitting or suggesting he did such a thing. The toxicology report went to the family and has never been spoke of, and don't ever expect to find out the real reason Shavershian passed right as it appeared he was reaching his peak. Number 4. LYLE ALZADO. Football players are often muscular and cut, But LYLE ALZADO, a defensive lineman for the Raiders, also the Broncos and Browns, but probably most famous for his twilight years with the Raiders, was built like a god, a bodybuilding god. ALZADO was more of a football player than bodybuilder, but is definitely one of the bigger names and one that has admitted to using steroids during his career. ALZADO passed away of brain cancer at the age of 43. ALZADO believes the cancer was related to his constant steroid use to enhance his body and presumably generate a rage that would help on the football field. He was known to have a short temper and would channel his anger to the opposing team. Not fun if you were trying to block him. He personified the Raiders, a team of doom and gloom, and will always be a fan favorite in Raider Nation.
But don't you analyze me and don't you tell me what I am until you get close enough to understand what I am.
Number 3. CURT HENNIG. Lots of bodybuilders have tried to break into wrestling, which makes sense given they have the body and all. However, there is a lot more to wrestling than just looking good. CURT HENNIG broke through the pro wrestling circuit. He was nicknamed the Hawk, but had a short career, one that took such a sharp downward turn, he ended up in wrestling inside high school gyms for a handful of people. At 32 years of age, HENNIG took his own life. Steroids were not directly involved, but they were very much a part of what destroyed his life. Anyone who has seen the movie The Wrestler can understand. We mean, if you have to work the deli counter during the day and then go to the high school gym at night, yeah, that's pretty depressing. Maybe bodybuilding and pro wrestling isn't for everyone. Still, he must have had something to live for. I mean, he was nicknamed the Hawk at one point in his life. That's pretty awesome. Number 2, Anthony DiRezzo. A lot of bodybuilders focus on the look and not so much the health aspects of bodybuilding. Not all, but some, mind you. Anthony DiRezzo is an example of this. After college, DiRezzo trained to the point where he could bench press 535 pounds, leading to a 1992 first-place finish at the American Bench Press Championships. He had a series of injuries over the next few years. Not long after, 2002, he was diagnosed with a heart condition and ordered to stop bodybuilding. Doctors specifically told him to stop training and not use steroids. He obliged for a while and stopped training, but in 2006 decided to start working out again. He was also taking growth hormones via injections. He passed away in a hotel room the night before an event in Pittsburgh. He sadly passed as he was practicing his bodybuilding poses in front of a group of close friends. Number 1, Chad Brothers. So we think by now we've established that bodybuilders and steroids are a dangerous combination that can lead to disaster. What happens when the roid rage occurs in public? Meet Chad Brothers, a bodybuilder with one of the most famous meltdowns of all time. It all went down in a New York Gold Gym in 2011. Brothers was using an elliptical machine and apparently fell off. It's not clear if anyone laughed or he was just embarrassed, but he decided to go on a rampage through the gym. He verbally threatened other people who were working out and then started knocking over and tipping heavy gym equipment. Did we mention he was jacked up on PCP and steroids? Didn't have to, did we? Anyway, the cops finally showed up, shot him twice with a taser gun, and he passed away an hour later. We bet a lot of memberships were terminated after that day at the gym. That's all for this video, folks. See you another time.